This is it, the moment we've all been waiting for, the crowning of Miss Fiestas Patrias 1975. We commemorate El 16 de Septiembre, Mexico's liberation from Spain, by finding a queen. Nuestra Reina wears this gold crown for one exciting year. She's a symbol for all of us here tonight, and upholding the traditions
oh, so pretty, I feel pretty and witty and gay, and I pity any girls in me who dare. I feel charming.
Keep smiling. You can do it. Keep it up. Come on. I can't keep smiling much longer. I won't be able to close my lips. My lips are glued to my gums. My mouth inside feels like 3-day-old corn tortillas. I need to blink. My eyes, I need to rub my eyes. But if I rub my eyes, I'll have mascara everywhere. A beauty queen shouldn't look like a raccoon.
To complete tonight's coronation, we ask that our new queen make a pledge.
And they called me a coconut. White on the inside, brown on the outside. Look at me now. Ha!
It is the pledge of Tejanaísmo, the pledge to continue support of La Raza, to build strong communities of Tejanos, los jefes de mañana. Durante este año,
wait a minute here.
Reina goes into the community.
Did he say La Raza?
Service-oriented organization.
I need my dictionary. I reviewed this before I left. All this hairspray. I've got brain cell death.
Well, you will uphold the pledge, won't you? Will you? You look a little unsure. You are worthy, aren't you? No pledging, no reigning, no promesa, no corona.
Claro que sí, señor.
Am I?
¿Cómo? What?
Sorry, Queenie, but before we can continue this coronation, we need to make sure we have no doubts about your heritage, not only for this moment, but who you will become. We need to know you have the right stuff. You have what it takes. And there's no better way to find out than playing... Your one-of-a-kind examine the past, glimpse into the future, mind-bending, time-warping game show favorite. Who do you think you are anyway? ¿Quién se ha creído esta? We test our potential reinas by asking a series of questions for signs, indicators, and answers which determine which side of the line they are on. Tejana or coconut? These questions are taken from a non-specific, unscientific poll across Tejas, ranging from diverse demographic, socioeconomic, geographic, and ethnic populations. We're not just judging you by Charlie's Angels fashion sense, but also striving to see the real you. The buck stops aquí. This is where the rubber meets the road, or los bolillos conocen los frijoles. Our guest, Leticia Rodriguez, a beauty contestant from Houston in 1975, and today, a suburban homemaker, bingo player, and chauffeur extraordinaire for los niños. She's got a winning smile and aims to please. Una reina de la chusma. Let's give her a big hand. Vamos a empezar. Let the games begin. This contestant has brought her lifelines. Ha traído toda la casa. Mommy, niece Carrie, and Tia Tina. They're sure to add to her credibility and our enjoyment. Let's do a quick meet and greet.
My name is Ernestine Garza Moore. Ernestina Garza Moore.
My name is Sylvia Garza Rodriguez. Sylvia Teresa Garza Rodriguez.
My name is Carrie Rodriguez. Me llamo Carrie Rodriguez.
Hola, chica. ¿Está lista? Let's just get right to it. The scoreboard's hungry. ¿Cómo te llamas?
Yes, thank you. My name is, me llamo Leticia Elaine Rodriguez.
Well, that was close, but good catch. Un punto para la Tejana. Next question. ¿Dónde vives?
You mean now? Ahora?
Claro.
Bueno, estoy trabajando en East Austin.
That's not the question.
Yo vivo cerca de Barton Springs.
Get specific. Zip code.
78703.
¿Estás segura?
46. Lo siento.
Punto para el coco. Moving on. ¿Cuántos hay en tu familia?
Well, let's see. I have 4 brothers and 1 sister, and their names are David, Noel, Felipe, Mario, y Carla. And on my father's side, let's see, we have about a dozen primos. And on my mother's side, she had 4 sisters and 2 brothers, and they each had about, my mom knows a lot more about La Familia than I do. Can I call in my lifelines?
I have 5 children.
Do you have grandchildren?
Yes, 13. 25 grandchildren. And that would be Carrie, Luce, and Wills, and Evan, and Lori, Nicole, and Noah, Paloma, and Jacob.
And great-grandchildren?
46.
No way.
And great,
Yeah?
7. Bianca, Nathan, and Zach, and Marissa, and Michelle.
Could you name them backwards?
I don't think so. You try it with all the ones I have.
Punto para la Tejana. Large numbers prove you're faithful to the church, and we do want the family line to continue. How was your service attendance? ¿Vas a la iglesia?
¿Quién sabe? I don't recalling.
And taking care of the
that,
basics. When was your last confession?
I don't know. I don't
¿Por qué
know.
no? It's simple enough, and we can always discuss details after the show.
Right, well, you see, I'm Jewish.
Could you repeat that for the audience?
I'm Jewish.
Score 1 for the coconut.
Well, if I can explain, I wasn't always Jewish. I became Jewish after my first child was born. My husband's Jewish, and we decided to raise our children in one faith. You understand?
You mean not only did you leave the faith, but you made your kids Jewish? Double coconut points.
I devote mis pulgas. Ayúdame, Dios mío.
Let me make this simple. Do you make frijoles more often than brisket?
Pues sí, por supuesto. Beans are a staple in mi casita. And I always have a package of fresh corn tortillas and 3 jars of marinated La Costeña jalapenos on hand. Briskets are only for holidays.
Sorry, not good enough. But hey, you won't get any Jewish guilt from me, Queenie. We'll split points 1 and 1. Are you really from Texas or some kind of exotic transplant?
Hey, no me digas eso. Let's talk to my lifelines about this.
I'm a Tejana. I'm a product of being born in Texas. My family has been in Texas for a long time. My father's family got off the boat and coming in from the Canary Islands and came and lived in Austin.
My daddy was born in Austin, Texas in 1888. And my mother was born in Roma, Texas in 1890 in Starr County.
My mother's family came from Spain and some from France, and we have a lot of people that lived around the missions in San Antonio that were from the family of the French part and also the Spanish part.
They raised 4 children in Austin, and then they moved to came to San Antonio. We're all San Antonians, but we're all Texas. My father was a Tejano, and so am I, and all my brothers and sisters are Texans.
As you can see, Texas is our home. My father's family were Mexicanos from the area of San Luis Potosí. And my mother's family, well, they've been here for 5 generations. Here's how Texas became our home. Procopio y Evaristo Garza, hermanos. arrived by boat from Port Galveston in 1847 from the Canary Islands. Mexico was steadily engaged in luring people from the surrounding territory, the American Northeast, y las Islas de las Canarias, to populate Texas and maintain ownership of a wide open territory. Pero todo era Mexico. Like a red apple sale at a Foley's department store, many fortune seekers came, both young and old, with or without kin, male or female, all with huge appetites for land bargains increíble. The fortune seeker, Eva Garza, was my great-grandfather, mi tatarabuelo. Procopio was alone, but for his teenage brother to look out for him. His thick, wavy red hair, fair complexion, and blue eyes were an unusual sight in Texas, so much so that shortly after arriving in Austin, the Apache Indians kidnapped him. Los indios se robaron al niño. He was all of 10 years old. They thought him an extraordinary sight and worth keeping to raise as one of their own. 10 years were to pass before Procopio left the tribe to return to where he considered home, Austin, and establish his family back with the colonistas. Also arriving by boat from the Canary Islands was Zenobia Valdez, my great-grandmother. Valdez was not her real name, but was given to her by her godparents who traveled with her so that she could pass as one of the family. Zenobia was first married to a Texas Ranger before becoming the wife of Procopio. We don't know the Ranger's name because he left Zenobia and kidnapped the children a few years into the marriage. Se robó a los niños. Procopio and Zenobia found each other and married in 1882. Their families settled in East Austin and eventually arrived at the doorstep of this neighborhood. The first recognizable address in town belonging to the Garza family was on Weberville Road, por allá, over on El East 7th, HEB. I drove there a couple of times at least, hoping to catch someone who might still be living there, who could be a long-lost relative. Or maybe I just hoped to find something familiar by looking at an old house. It was deep in the neighborhood, small and inconspicuous, and it was a miracle that it still existed, next to all the upscale developments nearby. As my eyes lifted from the yard to the rooftop, I found a surprise. The house and neighborhood are on a hill, and as you look southward, a view reaches out for your gut and holds you without struggle. This hidden view, there in the modest barrio, in the heartland of East Austin, is of Town Lake and beyond. It is easy to imagine why they chose this spot. 10 children were born to Procopio and Zenobia, and in their birth order, los hijos fueron Olimpia, Rosalino, Ignacia, Procopio, Manuel, Sixto, David, Marcelino, Delfina, y Rosa. And like dandelion seeds, these children drifted over time and settled across the country por todos lados in Chicago, Houston, San Antonio, and Austin. Procopio, the fourth child, was musical, and he often played the music circuit in Central Texas. He met Zenobia Bazan Ramirez at a dance, in un baile. Procopio played the concertina, while Zenobia skated on the arms of many available young men. Putting down his instrument one night, his request for a dance made this story possible. Un baile le cambió la historia. And yes, Procopio and Zenobia were also the names of Procopio's parents. He fell in love not only with her beauty or with her grace, but with her chamoros, her calves. Each turn she made as her skirt would lift, he could catch a glimpse of her legs and fall in love. Who knows, of course, how high the skirt lifted, but to this day, all Garza women have been blessed by this small but significant physical characteristic.
With legs like that, it's a clear score for the Tejana. ¡Qué piernas! Órale! It's our multiple choice question series, ¿Cuál es más Tejana? This test separates the corn from the husk. We're going to show you a pair of images, and you must decide which is the más Tejana. The choices are difficult, but clear to Tejanos chidos. Buena suerte.
Lucha libre. Fútbol. Football. El corazón. Yes. Jennifer. Lopez. What is that? I don't know what that is. I can't decide. Menorah? Antonio Banderas. Candy Piñata, it's the same thing. Piñata. Beyonce. Lago. I know. Sombrero. Gorgeous. I don't know. I don't know. A fish.
Well, that was close. The alarm has sounded and it's double points. Oh, we just pulled into the translation station. Doble puntos. Usa el coco. ¿Cómo se dice? I do not like them, Sam I am. I do not like green eggs and ham. I would not like them here or there. I would not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am.
A mí no me gusta. Samuel, yo soy. A mí no me gusta huevos verde y jamón. A mí no me gusta Samuel, yo soy. Bueno.
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, then where's the pickled peppers that Peter Piper picked?
Pedro Piper recoge pimientos de jalapeños. Si Pedro Piper estaba en la cocina recogiendo las pimientos de jalapeños.
Twas brillig in the slithy toves, did gyre and gimble in the wave. All mincy were the borrow grove, and the mome rafts outgrave.
Twas brillig in the slithy toves, y gyre and gimble in the wabe. All mincy were the
This was a contest requirement. Weren't you screened for Spanish? How did you get in?
I do speak Spanish. Puedo hablar en español, puedo hacerlo, pero soy un poco lenta. Ask my mom, we did the best we could.
I was raised in an era where it was taboo to speak Spanish. We were spanked, we were at school, the children were hit with rulers. We were fined a nickel every time that we spoke a word of Spanish in school. At the beginning of my going to school, for me, I was raised in a neighborhood that spoke more English than Spanish, and every time that they heard the children speaking one Spanish word, they used to fine them. And we used to get punished for it. And I felt like I wanted to do my children a good service. Like I wanted them to be able to be not looked down upon. And the income, I really robbed them of part of their heritage. And I really have been really sorry about that because I know that they really have blamed me all these years for them not being able to speak Spanish.
Well, I also have to add to that you have always, seems to me, you've always told us, well, we can do it, you know, we can study at any time, you know, you just keep learning it.
Estoy de acuerdo. You did the best you could. I guess you didn't make that same choice con tus hijos, ¿verdad?
Well, actually,
Olvídalo, mujer. Eso es tu problema ahora. Good reasons, pero...
Espérame, slow down a minute. I forgot. I can sing. I know how to sing in Spanish. My son even knows how to sing in Spanish. Wait a minute, here's a tune my mom taught me. Naranja dulce, limón partido, dame un abrazo y no te pido, si fueran falsos sus juramentos.
Nice try. Para continuar, how many padrinos were at your quinceañera?
None. I'm afraid I didn't have one. Mom?
I don't believe in having quinceañeras. I've never changed my mind about it, although I read a lot about it now since we have more influx of Latinas that have come into the country. I feel that I did not believe in having a quinceañera for my girls because I knew they were going to go to college, and I felt like that money was going to go for their college fund.
Judges? Please choose one of the following. El venado de ojo guards against A. Poison ivy, B. Susto, C. El mal de ojo, D. Athlete's foot.
I know this one. My tia told me all about it. She told me a story I'll never forget. She said to me, Mija, el mal de ojo is when you have a lot of electricity in your system. It's when you want to touch something, or admire it, or desire it. And if you look too hard at it, the energy leaves su cuerpo and strikes. It can injure, even cause death. Te puedes morir. Some people have a lot of electricity. They have a lot of energy. They have to be careful. You can break a glass with your eyes, por ejemplo. And if you don't touch what you've been watching, your head can ache. Touching the object somehow takes away that electricity, takes away the energy. You don't believe in that? Sí, es verdad. I wasn't sure. But I learned that some parents give their children el ojo de venado, the eye of the deer, to keep them safe from harm. My guess is that it somehow redirects the energy. Okay. Maybe it's a superstition, but my tia is convinced there's something to this because it happened to her. She first felt el mal de ojo when she was pregnant with her first child. She told me, Mija, I was going to church in downtown San Antonio con mis amigos, Buster y Miguel, when my legs started hurting, and de repente, I couldn't move. Right there, in front of Max Martinez's funeral home, there we were, and my legs were paralyzed. I was stuck, como una estatua. Buster and Miguel wanted to know what was wrong, and I didn't know. They noticed a car that had passed by a few minutes earlier, passed by again, and pulled up at the curb. A woman got out. She came up to my tia, and she said, I told my husband I had to come back here. I was admiring your chamorros. And I thought I might have given you el mal de ojo. She told her that she felt like slapping her, and a few minutes later began to have a terrible headache. And then right there in the middle of the road, she leaned down and she gave my tia's poor calves a few quick hard slaps, and she could walk again. My tia me dijo, sí, es verdad, I was dead weight. Dead weight! and pregnant to top it off. Mis chamoros are like a lot like my mother's and can still get me into a lot of trouble. The answer is definitely C. El mal de ojo.
So far, the numbers are looking pretty close. You're gonna have to do better than that to wear this crown, amiga. With just 2 rounds to go, you better have a drink. Let's try an audio question. Name this cantante famosa.
No sé por qué dices que has visto en mis ojos. Estaba llorando de celos por ti.
Eva Garza.
What #1 hit was she singing and who wrote it?
Celosa by Pablo Rodriguez. No relation.
What was she known as?
La novia de los boleros. My mom and Tia Tina, they're Eva experts.
Her name was Eva Garza, and she was a famous singer in radio, television.
She left behind a lot of her good music, which all my children listen to, and many memories. I hear her songs in my head. She was just a marvelous singer, wonderful singer.
In 1942, when during the World War, she sang for La Voz de América in a program called Viva America. She would sing to our soldiers in English, Spanish, and Portuguese, and they named her the Sweetheart of the Americas.
Every time she came back from a tour, it was like a celebration all over again. She'd bring us all these fabulous presents. The whole neighborhood would join us. There was times when she was living in New York that she would bring boxes and boxes of shoes and give them out to all the neighborhood. And of course, I always had the skinny foot, so I couldn't wear her shoes. And I'd get sick about that because she'd bring all these gorgeous things to give out. But she was so generous with me because she would have one-of-a-kind dresses made for me before she would come home and bring them to me. She was just a tremendously great person. She really made everybody feel really good about themselves.
Even going back to my great aunt Eva Garza, like I didn't know her, and I wish that I did. I wish I'd grown up listening to her music. I didn't really until now, and I'm just freaking out now as I listen to her music of how wonderful and soulful she was.
Hold everything. She's your aunt? There's no challenge here. Throw out the last 3 questions. Discalificado.
Hey, I didn't always know this stuff. As a child, I hated hearing her music. I identified with Carole King and Judy Collins and Joni Mitchell. Until becoming a teenager, I rode up on my bike every chance I got when my mother put on Eva's music. I only understood over time how special her music and accomplishments were. One day I discovered Eva's melodies going on in my head and found that they could also be a source of comfort, pride, and my legacy. You see, although I did try to escape when my mother put on Eva's music, it also drew me in. I heard Eva daily while growing up. I loved looking at her costumes and her beautiful album covers. By degrees, I remembered her melodies. By discernment, I learned about performing. Con el corazón, nuance, timing, and grace were all there. Watching my parents dance in the den to one of the richest voices of that era will always be my favorite memory of them. Eva is a part of our legacy, one of our family treasures. I can still feel the rhythm of the boleros, música tropical, and rancheras deeply. And now I can't imagine any more music beautiful than this. She's my aunt, my tia. I claim her as part of my heritage. I learned how to sing in Spanish because of my love for this music. Bring me the dress of Eva Garza. You're never going to believe this. It's real. This is one of the last dresses, well, it's the last dress. It's not hanging in a museum somewhere. It was made in 1966 by one of her dressmakers named Julio in Mexico City. And it even fits. Tonight, I'd like to share with you just a few of Eva's songs. The song Quiero Verte is a great example of the type of music Eva would bring to her audiences. Quiero verte una vez más. I want to see you one more time. It's a song filled with passion and emotion.
Tarde que me invita a conversar con los recuerdos, pena de esperar y de llorar sin este encierro. Tanto en mi agura te busqué sin encontrarte. Cuando vida moriré para olvidarte. Una vez más, amado mío, y extasiarme en el mirar de tus pupilas. Quiero verte una vez más, aunque me digas que ya todo terminó, es inútil remover las cenizas del ayer. Más. Estoy tan triste que no puedo recordar porque te fuiste. Quiero verte una vez más y a mi agonía un alivio sentiré y olvidado en un rincón más tranquila moriré. Una vez más, estoy tan triste que no puedo recordar por qué te fuiste. Quiero verte una vez más y a mi agonía un alivio sentiré y olvidaré en un rincón más tranquila moriré.
¿Quién será? What will be? It's a song that Eva would have sung probably in her family room, because this song always makes me feel like dancing, and outside of the musical abilities, all the Garza women have always been fabulous dancers. So I'd like to sing this for you tonight. ¿Quién será?
¿Quién será la que me quiera a mí? ¿Quién será? ¿Quién será? ¿Quién será la que me dé su amor? ¿Quién será? ¿Quién será? Yo no sé si la podré encontrar. Yo no sé, yo no sé. Yo no sé si podré querer. Yo no sé. me hiciera sentir, que me hiciera feliz como ayer lo fui. ¿Quién será la que me quiera a mí? ¿Quién será? ¿Quién será? ¿Quién será la que me dé su amor? ¿Quién será? ¿Quién será? ¿Quién será la que me dé su amor? ¿Quién será? ¿Quién será? The song Traigo Ganas, Bringing Desire. It was a song that was written by a man, for a man to sing. But my tia sang it without any problems. And I invite you to hear it. Ando buscando un amor que sepa querer, que no tenga dueño, pero que sepa querer, también comprender, si no, pues yo le enseño. Ahora que traigo ganas, y a veces ni ganas traigo, yo vine a pasear y vine a tomar, y no hay por qué les parezca mal. Yo vine a pasear y vine a tomar, y no hay por qué les parezca mal. Esa morena me gusta y voy a acercarle a tratarle de amor. Esa es la que ando buscando de todos los barrios desde alrededor. Ahora que traigo ganas, y a veces ni ganas traigo, yo vine a pasear y vine a tomar, y no hay por qué les parezca mal. Yo vine a pasear y vine a tomar, y no hay por qué les parezca mal. Voy a decirte que te amo, que tú eres mi todo, mi único amor. Porque yo siempre te traigo clavada a mi dentro de mi corazón. Ahora que traigo ganas, y a veces ni ganas traigo, yo vine a pasear y vine a tomar, y no hay por qué les parezca mal. Yo vine a pasear y vine a tomar, y no hay por qué les parezca mal.
Nice tunes there, but still disqualified. Eva was the sweetheart of the Americas. You're not. You may have the chamorros, but we're not impressed. Lista, sweetheart? It's the final rapid fire round. Ready? Aim? How many amigos tejanos tienes?
Maybe dos.
If you were to break into dance, would it be a minuet or la Macarena?
What?
Did you attend Zavala Elementary?
No, but I know Zavala. I taught here 10 years ago, and I know some of my ancestors were here. In fact, I believe I still have relatives here somewhere.
Choose one. Selma Hayek is responsible for A, driving men crazy, B, global warming, C, snacking on crickets, D, all of the above.
Snacking on crickets?
True or false? All Tejanos wear Wrangler jeans.
False.
True or false? 10 family members are too many to take on a shopping trip to Walmart.
True.
Sí o no? When telemarketers call, do you answer in Spanish?
Sometimes.
Fill in the blank. A 3-bedroom casita can house X number of family members.
I don't answer those questions.
Do you support your local Tejanos businesses?
Yeah, sure.
When you need carpet care, who do you call?
I called Guerrero's last month.
Have you ever eaten at Joe's Bakery?
Yes.
Did you eat pink cake?
No.
Did you tip the waiter? Do you ever eat at Taco Bell?
What? Hold everything! What does Taco Bell have to do with the price of frijoles? This is crazy! This makes no sense. Life is not so brown and white. Isn't there something beyond Tejana or coconut? Aren't we all of these things and more? We're connected by the color of our hair, the shape of our lips, the way we speak, and how our voices blend when we sing together.
My father has intensely curly hair, and I get my hair from him. And it's definitely something that I've kind of fought all my life. Until now, I'm more comfortable with it, but I do feel like it's part of my Mexican heritage when I think about my hair. My nose is kind of a combination of the two sides of my family, but I think it's more of a Rodriguez nose than a nail nose, and it has a definite kind of width that I think comes from that side of the family. Actually, I think I feel like my body shape is also more from my Rodriguez side. I look at my grandmother and think that I have her body shape, and just kind of the general outline and shape of her hips seems like a Rodriguez Latina kind of shape.
What do you want from me? I have my traditions. I may not have had a quinceañera, but my family insisted that we go to college and that we believe in ourselves. We've also been surrounded by music all of our lives.
I had a piano for the kids, but I had a lot of birds. I had several dozen birds. And every time that my children got on the piano or started playing or singing, my birds sang along with them. So it was a big thing for us to hear all the little birds singing at the same time. So they were really happy birds because my kids were always singing.
I think it was probably when I was about 5 years old that I decided I wanted to be a musician.
Pretty early.
For the rest of my life. I mean, I do remember thinking that. I started taking violin lessons at age 5. They were offering Suzuki lessons at my elementary school. And I remember my mother taking me to see Itzhak Perlman when I was 5. And I was just enamored by that man. And I remember thinking, actually, at the time, that seemed like a thing that I wanted to do. Being on that stage and
Wow.
playing the violin.
At 5.
Yeah.
My family tradition is playing, composing, and listening to music. It is the bridge between and beyond cultures, and it is where my family and I fit. Art in general creates a foundation for us, passed on by our parents and now carried on by our children.
Everyone in my family has always embraced the fact that I wanted to be an artist. And I always had so many family members to look up to and be inspired by to keep doing art. You know, I mean, my father, first of all, is one of, I think, America's greatest songwriters. And although he's very, not very well known, that's been a big inspiration to me. And I feel like I'm, kind of carrying out a tradition of, especially now with songwriting, I want to carry out the tradition that he had of writing songs and sharing things that are going on. I do feel like I have a mission in this life to continue what all my family members have done and keep that tradition going, and hopefully inspire other kids, whether they're my own or just people that I meet through this life or know my music, to do the same.
One of the best things that developed from all of this was when their father expired, it really became a very important part of their life because David decided to come home to be the man of the family for a little while and to help me out with the kids. And so one of the things he did was go out and buy a set of recorders. And he would sit down and write the music of the recorders, and he would teach each piece to the children. And so in the process of doing this, I think that it was a really good thing that they could get together and be able to communicate with each other while they were going through their bad time of losing their father, their grief. And it was sort of a healing process for them, and that was a big thing for us. I think music has helped us through thick and thin, through joyful times and sad times. I cannot imagine a family not having music around.
Well, I certainly can't imagine our family being without music. Thank you so much for that experience. And I'd like to celebrate that idea of music in our family by singing for you a few songs that have helped define who I am and my life. And I'd like to start out by a song by Armando Manzanero, Somos Novios. And I'd like to dedicate this to my mother.
Somos novios, pues los dos sentimos mutuo amor profundo y con eso ya ganamos lo más grande de este mundo. Nos amamos, nos besamos y como novios nos deseamos, y hasta veces sin motivo, sin razón nos enojamos. Somos novios, mantenemos su cariño limpio y puro, como todos procuramos el momento más oscuro para hablarnos, para darnos el más dulce de los besos, recordar de qué color son los cerezos, sin hacer más comentarios. Somos novios, somos novios, mantenemos su cariño limpio y puro, como todos procuramos el momento más oscuro para hablarnos, para darnos el más dulce de los besos, recordar de qué color son los cerezos, sin hacer más comentarios. Somos novios, siempre novios, somos novios. was sung 24 years ago, next month. And since this is about being a Tejana, Texan, I bet, well, I'm sure some of you will recognize it and know why I'm singing it. When we dance together, my world's in disguise. It's a fairy tale story that's come true. But when you look at me with those stars in your eyes, well, I could waltz across Texas with you. Waltz across Texas with you in my arms. Waltz across Texas with you. Like a fairy book ending, I'm lost in your charms. Well, I could waltz across Texas with you. All my heartache and troubles have just up and gone the moment that you come in view. But with your hand in mine, I could dance all night long. I could waltz across Texas with you. Waltz across Texas with you in my arms. Waltz across Texas with you. Like a storybook ending, I'm lost in your charms. Well, I could waltz across Texas with you. Boys, take it. Waltz across Texas with you in my arms. Waltz across Texas with you. Like the fairy book ending, I'm lost in your charms. Well, I could waltz across Texas with you. Waltz across Texas with you in my arms. Waltz across Texas with you. Like the fairy book ending, I'm lost in your charms. And I could waltz across Texas with you. It won't be complete. The #1 hit in Mexico City in the 1950s by my tia Eva was Celosa. It happens to be my all-time favorite #1 hit too, and I'd love to sing it for you tonight. No sé por qué dices que has visto en mis ojos que estaba llorando de celos por ti. Por más que me veas a veces llorosa, no creas que siento el amor que perdí. La prueba bien clara esta tarde has tenido, pasaste con otra por verme sufrir, porque te has marchado sin darme un beso. De pena, Dios mío, me siento morir. Si yo no lo crees que es por tu cariño que yo le he perdido, no vale la pena derramar las lágrimas por un amor. Ya lloré bastante cuando imaginaba que me olvidarías. Antes lloraba, pero ya no lloro por tu corazón. Pero si recuerdo de aquellos momentos cuando me decías que me amabas mucho con todo el cariño de tu corazón. Pero no lo crees que he sido tan floja que has vencido mi alma. Nunca te he querido, para que negarlo, no quiero tu amor. Al ver que con otra te burlas de mí. Después que fue miel el calor de tu boca y yo en tus labios 1000 besos te di. Jamás he pensado llorar un cariño, jamás he sabido lo que era sufrir, porque te has marchado sin darme ni un beso. De pena, Dios mío, me siento morir. Si yo no lo crees por tu cariño que yo le he perdido, no vale la pena derramar las lágrimas por un amor. Ya lloré bastante cuando me imaginaba que me olvidarías. Antes lloraba, pero ya no lloro por tu corazón. Pero sí recuerdo de aquellos momentos cuando me decías que me amabas mucho con todo el cariño de tu corazón. Pero no creas que he sido tan floja que has vencido mi alma. Nunca te he querido, ¿para qué negarlo? No quiero tu amor.
All the stories, todo lo dicho y hecho, all the music with my family determine my heritage, all the times that we feel loved and love in return by family and friends we grew up with, we discover our heritage, culture, and place we grow up. They make us unique. It gives us stories from which we can draw self-knowledge, compassion, and strength. Dicen quién somos. But I wonder what your stories are. What makes you unique? We all have them. We just have to ask. Our canciones for generations have been cherished and passed on by family members for many years. And with this, may all of us remember our histories, recordamos nuestras historias, and determine how we shape our future, nuestro futuro.
I'd like you to take home one for the road, Estrellita del Sur. Cuando lejos de ti quiera penar el corazón, y al viento sur y en mí recordaré de tu reír, tu vibración que fue canto de amor y himno de paz, y a eventos de dolor solo será felicidad. Cuando lejos de ti quiera penar el corazón, y al viento sur y en mí recordaré de tu reír, tu vibración que fue canto de amor y himno de paz, y a eventos de dolor solo será felicidad. No, te digo un adiós, estrellita del sur.